Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the D&Y Podcast. I'm Yassine and I'm here with my co-host Dimitri, and we're bringing you some fresh new information. So get ready and buckle up.
Let's get it.
How you been,
That,
Dimitri?
that was a great intro, man. That was a great intro. One of the best you've probably done in all
Thank
our
you.
podcast history. That was epic. I gotta leave you that. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in to the next podcast episode here in the end of September. The summer is getting away, and we're now getting closer to the winter. But yeah, I've been very well to answer your question. The struggles of the business are always there. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing, and sometimes you face problems you gotta solve. But that's how life is, and I'm always trying to be more involved, valuable to my clients, and that's not always as easy. But yeah, how have you
That's,
been, Yassine? You're back from
I've
Egypt
been,
now, right? You come
yeah,
back. We record this at the start of the month now in September, and you're back for now 4 days, I think, in Switzerland after what was it, 2 months in Egypt, something like that.
yeah, 1 month, but it was fun.
Good.
It was very fun. I enjoyed it. Could have been more present in the moment, but it was pretty good, and I'm glad. It was a bit of a shock for me when I came back here, and Switzerland was a bit colder. Like, what happened? But no,
Winter
it
is
was
coming.
great,
Winter is coming.
and I've been good too. I've been good too. I've been, facing the struggles of the business, but I've been learning to um, get more valuable in general for people and just help out. Because you never know who you help out. They might keep that in mind in the future, ask you for something, or just remember you and tell someone about it. So it's always important to just be helpful, in my opinion.
That's totally true. Yeah, that's totally true. Well, as always, at the start of the episode, we get into our wisdom nugget, and I'll just start with my wisdom nugget, which is if your body is in good shape, your mind is in good shape as well. It's very important to be in a good physical condition, not to look shredded and like a bodybuilder, but to make to exercise regularly is very very important. I play paddle, which is for the people that don't know something similar to tennis, but on smaller courts, and that makes me exercise 2, 3, 4 times a week. And to have that movement, to have something else to do is very, very helpful for the mind as well, because if the body is in good shape, the mind is in good shape as well.
Very true. Yeah, that's a pretty good one, man. I mean, I've been taking care of my health too, especially after that one convo with my uncle, where he was like, "You can work out harder," and that really encouraged me to get back to it. And this will tie perfectly into my wisdom nugget because I've been having friends hold me accountable on that. I've messaged a few, including you in our accountability group, but I've also messaged one of my friends who's into fitness, and I told him, hey, I'm gonna give you some updates about like whether I did my workouts this week. I went on 2 walks. If I every time I'm tempted to eat a lot of sugary sweet stuff, I'll tell you if I ate, like report back to him at the end of the day to hold me accountable. And my wisdom nugget is really this, something I had never done before, but the importance of accountability. And now I have an accountability partner I have our monthly accountability calls, but I also have multiple accountability people for different aspects, like a friend of mine who I holds me accountable on the religious faith side, so that's very good. A friend for health, and then in general, you and our other friend who hold me accountable for the monthly goals, and that ties perfectly into all these factors. Because the good thing is when you feel like people know, and when it's like maybe 4 or 5, you feel like, okay, I these people know. They're gonna call me out on it, and that helps you get your goals done, honestly. So, yeah.
That's true, yes. And with our accountability call that we have every month, we set goals. And in the next call, at the start of the new next month, we look back at our goals. Have we actually achieved them?
Mm,
If not, how can we make sure we achieve them next month? What can we set up? And especially, I don't have the book right by my side, but Atomic Habits is just a great book for
mm,
those type of things. Sometimes you gotta make a goal easier to attain. Sometimes you gotta link it to another activity that you do. For example, for me, I try to do push-ups every single day. And Yassine said, "Hey, you drink coffee, right? You're a coffee guy. Maybe link it to the coffee. When you're waiting for your coffee, you can do a few push-ups because it's quite easy to do a lot of push-ups throughout the day if you just split it out. I talked about it in the last podcast episode. If you split out the goal into like much smaller goals, like 10 push-ups at 9 and then 10 push-ups at 10, and then you continue like that, it's very easy. But if at the end of the day at 8, you're sitting there and you still have 100 push-ups to do, it's a whole different story. I
yeah.
think that accountability call has been very, very helpful for all of us because we are held accountable for our goals, and then we look at the goals and make sure we achieve them the next month, or we change something about it in our daily lives to make sure we achieve the goal.
Yeah. Plus, he motivated me to do daily push-ups every day just by him doing it.
I mean, it's the influence of it, and now I try to do daily push-ups as well, and I I don't achieve it every day to do exactly the amount of push-ups I want to do, but I do more push-ups, a lot more push-ups in general than I was doing before. So I guess that is the most important thing of all. But yeah,
Exactly.
let's get into our topic of today, which, if you guys watched the last episode till the very last, you saw that we said, hey, in the next episode, we're going to talk about online gurus. And that's what we're going to talk about today, online gurus. And I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but gurus make everything look very easy. But what they never show you is the hard work that goes behind it. And they always make it seem like it's so easy to make 10K a month, but they sell you the dream and they don't sell you the skill. So sometimes it's quite dangerous if you get too much in love with the dream of it instead of what you actually need, which is the skill to attain it. And they make it seem sometimes a bit too easy. Like, oh, it's only 1 or 2 hours a week and then you can make 10K a month, which, let's be honest, it's not realistic. It takes a lot of work when you
Yeah.
start.
They make it seem like, it's almost as if they're like, oh, the baby just came out of the womb, now he should know how to walk? That's how it feels like when they tell
That's a
you
very
you'll
good
make.
analogy. Very good analogy. And
Yeah,
yeah,
so,
for a baby, it needs to fall down a bunch of times before it can actually walk. And it's the same thing with everything that you do in business. Sometimes you just need to fall over and fail in order to learn it and to master the skill. And let's be honest, you've actually never really mastered a skill because you're always learning, and that's how it
yeah,
should be. You should be
yeah,
learning every single day, and you should be improving as much as you can with everything that you do because you never really mastered something 100%.
yeah. That will be something for the rest of your life. But as you said, the gurus, like, they make it seem so easy that you're going to achieve that goal of 10K as soon as you start. But you, I mean, most of the time you have to get good before you can charge 10K. It takes sometimes years to reach that. You know,
Yeah.
you can even share your story as an example, your progression over time. from when you started, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when I started editing reels for my clients, I remember it was on Fiverr. It was $5 for free short form videos. And now it's a lot higher than that, even per video, but that was, I don't know, a bit more than $1 for
Yeah,
for a video. And when you improve and you do better things that make better results and achieve more, you you're able to charge more. But it takes
yeah,
work and it takes
that,
feedback as well. Because by doing the same work for 10 years, you're not gonna improve. You also have to have feedback and know what to improve in the specific thing you're doing in order to get better and be more valuable to your clients.
yeah. And that was 3 years ago, by the way. So the progression of Dimitri's journey has been going up with time, which is the natural state of how mastery works, you know?
Exactly. And I'm nowhere near perfect. There's so much I still have to learn. And but I'm very grateful for it because that's the fun part. To get
Yeah,
things.
yeah. And you know, the thing also with some of those gurus that sell that dream of making 10K is that some of them, like, they're making 10K, but from the fact that they're selling you a course, not really because they have the skill that they're teaching you. They just take your money and, you know, keep spreading that
Yeah,
thing. Not
if
all gurus, but a
yeah,
big majority.
if the gurus make more money from selling you what they're teaching rather than what they're actually teaching you, that's a big red flag. You gotta make sure that they actually, what is it, that they
They're actually
actually,
on the battlefield.
yeah, that they actually practice what they preach, is what I
Hmm.
was searching. And they have actual results with what they have achieved, what they're
Yeah,
trying to teach you. Because sometimes people got big with selling selling you the idea and selling you the course. That's how they've made millions. And now they tell you, "Oh, I'm a millionaire because I have, I don't know, because I've been good at drop shipping." But they've actually made more money from selling you the drop shipping course than from the job shipping itself. Because
yeah,
the the niche, the teaching niche, is so big online. People spend so much money on mentors, courses, and so some of these online gurus make a heck of a lot of money with that.
yeah, yeah. The way I think about it is if they're still active on the battlefield, you know, they're still doing what they're teaching you how to do, even if it's just like one or two clients and they're mostly focused on coaching and they have a track record, that's a good sign. But also a good thing to know if someone is knows what they're talking about is can they tell you the why behind what they're teaching you, the psychology behind it, you know, the reason for it, the experience. That's usually a good sign of whether or not they have a they're selling you a course just the dream or they're actually have lived that experience, you know. But yeah, that's usually how it is.
Yeah,
And
gurus are just experts at selling us hope, and some of us fall for it every time. They're
yeah,
good at using FOMO, good at using general psychology to make us fall in love with the goal, which is, I mean, that's the
yeah,
way you sell something. But they make us fall in love with the goal, and then we forget that maybe they don't actually know what they're teaching, and they they don't actually make money with it, and it's going to be a lot harder than what they're trying to explain.
yeah. I mean, look, the thing is, because from the copy perspective, I know they use like the FOMO, they amplify the fear as well. Sometimes they exaggerate it, you know. They use fake scarcity sometimes, fake urgency. I mean, it's not always a, I don't agree with it, and I'm not a fan of those things they use, but they do use them, unfortunately, because when you are willing to bend the lines of ethics to get what you want, no, regardless of the cost, you will just do it. And so they can, don't fall. What I'm trying to tell you is don't fall for the fear base, because I think we live in a world where fear drives people to take action. Fear is a pretty powerful motivator, and the gurus know that. Negativity, they know that. Negative emotions, so they play on it so well. They exaggerate, they amplify it by telling you if you don't do this, your life will end. It's over. You're gonna be stuck by the matrix forever. They and they do these things, and look, it works, but don't fall for it, because there's a saying which basically goes, it's easy to fool people when they're already fooling themselves, you know? And so if you let yourself believe those lies they spread, they will be able to get you to fall even more and more and more and more. And then just do what they want, be their puppet, kind of.
Yes, politicians are also very good at using fear to manipulate you and to believe a certain thing and to then also act a certain way because you act a lot differently out of fear than you act normally because you're a
Yeah,
lot more conservative and you you then don't want to take as big of a risk if there's a lot of fear involved.
that's the thing. That's the thing, bro. That's what they do, and usually, like, I'll tell you something, many times even, this is something you gotta be careful of, is they sell the dream in a way that is like, they make you believe they have that life, but they don't actually have it. And when I went to Paris a few years back, this is always one of the funniest stories. There were Porsches and rich cars parked, around, and people were just jumping. Like I saw three people literally jump at a car that's not even theirs to take a picture with it, you know? And that's when I was like, well, many gurus probably do that. They probably just take a picture in front of a car and you won't know. I can just lie to you and make you believe that. I can make a fake testimonial and make you believe that. So you always have to, when you make a decision, use your rational part, because the world wants you to use it less and less and less, so you can do what they want you to do, basically, whether it's the gurus or whatever.
Yeah, and sometimes you just feel even more broke, but what you actually fall for is the rented Lamborghini that they post on Instagram, and you feel like you can attain that by doing what they're doing or doing what they're teaching inside of their course, but it's just rented, it's just fake. So you got to be careful. There's people that actually have reached or been able to buy a Lamborghini
Yeah.
with what they're teaching. I'm not saying everybody that teaches something
Well,
is necessarily a bad guy, because some people are actually good.
of
But
course, yeah.
you got to be careful because sometimes people use rented Lamborghinis or they use fake testimonials or fake pictures with cars, and the highlights on Instagram don't always portray 100% what the life looks like for that specific person.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And you know what's sad as well, Dimitri, is that the algorithm, well, keeps showing you people who are richer, happier, smarter than you on purpose, so that it makes you think everyone is winning except you, so that you keep like just watching, you keep scrolling, because that's also part of what keeps people watching. That's the algorithm just observes what the world wants to, what people want to believe, and just shows them more of it. That's why if you like people who give you hope, you'll see more of this. If you like people who gossip, it'll give you more of this. And if your insecurities are what drives you, they'll give you more of those insecurities, so you can stay on the platform and just watch.
Yeah, what you also have to be very careful of is most people they only post good on social media. Like on if the real life would be like social media, people would be doing great. But people only post the good things of social media, the good side of their lives, the Lamborghini they're driving, but they maybe don't show the house that they live in, or maybe they show the house that they live in, but they still move around by bus. So you got to be very careful because most people only show the good things, and that's why you also see lots of the good things.
Yeah, it's you know what I like to think about it? It's kind of as if you're you see this person who, remember when you were in school? You see this person who's always dressed super well and always looks so happy, right? And but you only see them when they walk into the school, but you don't see, when what on their way here, how they came, for example. You don't see at home what's going on. All you see is just what they tell you. Because in real life, there are people that will tell you, I'm doing great, bro. Everything is fine, everything's amazing, but they go home and they're struggling. And in social media, that's a little bit that way. And it's not always because people do it on purpose. Sometimes just people are not comfortable sharing with the whole world the fact that, I don't know, they're crying today, they're having a bad day. They don't want to show it. Um, and so that's what you said, Dimitri, is 100% true. Like, think of it really as that kid who was always smiling, and you found out he was going through a struggle at some point, and you're like, wow, I didn't expect that to be real. Because we've all had that person in school where they looked perfectly happy on the outside, but then we found out they have actual struggles we didn't know about.
Yes, that's totally true. Totally true. And another thing that's quite interesting, we were talking about fake things before, and what you also got to be very careful at, and this especially a problem with e-commerce, when
Mm,
people show that they have 100K revenue, you got to be very, very careful because revenue doesn't mean profit. And they
yeah.
could be doing a million in revenue, but if the margin is 0.1%, you're making close to no money. So people in dropshipping and e-commerce are keen to show the revenue and not the profit. In a service-based business, this works quite well to show the revenue because you don't have such high cost, but the margins are a lot thinner with e-commerce, and that's why the revenue seems a lot higher when the profit is actually a lot lower.
But I never understood this thing of showing your own revenue. I mean, that's just my philosophy thing, but I'm not a fan of it, to be honest, of showing your own revenue. I think if you're someone who's teaching someone something, what's important is not to show your revenue. It's important to show that your work is helping people, like in your testimonials. Because I feel like when you show your own revenue, you're kind of trying to prove that you're actually as good as you claim to be. But normally, when you're good at something, you don't need to go around walking and then showing it everywhere and be like, I'm the best. People can see when you're the best, and they can see when your work is actually helping people. Skill can usually be seen. It doesn't need to be screamed at, through a megaphone. Guys, I'm very good at what I do. Look, I made up 1 million, guys.
Well, on the other hand, the revenue is a very good metric of
Mm-hmm.
showing how valuable you are to others. And if
Mm,
you're a lot valuable to others, that means that you actually know what you're doing
mm.
because you make money from it, and money equals value.
I guess, I just, maybe it's just my kind of,
But I
I
see your
wouldn't,
point. Don't get me wrong. I see your point
yeah,
that you're making. I mean, I'm
yeah.
also not the guy that likes to walk around and just say, "Hey, I'm very successful. Hey, I'm this and that." Um, I mean, I'm not, but if I achieve something, I'm not the guy that likes to just walk around and say, "Hey, I've done it," and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I like to be a bit more, uh, how do you
Discreet
say? Yeah, discreet
on that.
exactly with the things.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be my kind of way of looking at it. But again, you as the viewer, you don't have to agree with it. Everyone does things differently. When you do your brand, you might do it differently than us. But what we're just telling you is basically don't screw people over because it will come to bite you.
Yeah, karma will come back. Even if you're maybe not that religious, maybe you believe in karma and it will come back. But let us know definitely in the comments what you think of it. What's your analogy to it? How do you look at those gurus? Have you come across gurus? Have you had experiences with those gurus that maybe screwed you over and you haven't actually got what was promised,
Yeah.
or it wasn't as easy as promised? Please tell us in the comments, and we'd be happy to hear your experiences and your stories. And we're now at 25 minutes, so I believe we can get to our. Unless you have something else to say, I don't want to.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the final thing maybe you could give the viewers maybe just what have been ways you've found, Dimitri, for example, for you to prevent yourself from falling into, like, to spot a good guru from a bad one, for example, a good mentor from a bad mentor.
Well, you gotta look at the testimonials. Obviously, you you can research what has the guy reached or actually reached, where has he got his knowledge from. You know, if he, let's take an example, he's a drop shipping coach. How successful has his drop shipping business actually been? Because yeah, you don't want to talk about revenue, but or in this case about profit, but if they made profit from it, they probably won't know what they're talking about. But again, look at the profit, not the revenue, because if people only share the revenue side of the things and they don't show the profit, they don't talk about profit margins, that might be a red flag. And then from other students, right? How many students have actually been successful with what they've been doing? And yeah, I believe those are good things to look at. Maybe you have something else, but these are the things that I would.
Um, I was gonna add maybe look through Reddit because sometimes their own testimonials they could put them in their own website, but sometimes Reddit is a good spot I've seen to hear some people share their true opinion on certain things. Um, you can also ask, that's a one that you could do if you really want to be very diligent, sorry. You can ask a past student of theirs um, as well. And a big thing I would tell you in these cases is also trust your gut and these ones, because gather the info, look through it. But once you are at that point where you have enough info and you can make a decision, just see how your gut is directing you and take that decision. Trust your gut with that for real, because it can spot what the mind sometimes tries to rationalize and what the heart sometimes tries to fantasize. So trust it and let us know in the comments below what are ways you found to spot good gurus from bad gurus, or what are methods you use so you can help others as well avoid getting hurt.
Exactly. That's a good one. And yeah, we're coming now to the end of the podcast. And as always, Yassine, what are three things you're grateful for? And while Yassine tells the three things he's grateful for, go ahead in the comments and tell your three things that you are grateful for this
Yeah.
week.
So I'm very grateful for the fact that I'm back in Switzerland. I missed it, to be honest. Um, it's a beautiful country, and not many people have access to such a place with the nature and resourcefulness that it offers. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm able to manage uni with business. I don't have to stop business. I can still find a way to make it work, and it's going well. I'm grateful also that my content has been helping people and that people have been liking it and feeling the authentic, genuine vibe that I try to bring to it. So and that's helping them because man, the most important thing, the thing that makes life feel so good is when you know that your work helps people and brings something to them. So thank God for all these things, man.
Yeah, I mean, those are great things. And look, I'm very grateful that we're not at war here, because there's some places where families get deteriorated, civil people just get blown up for people sitting in costumes in buildings and decided they don't like the other side. And I'm not putting myself on either one of those sides. I'm just saying that what's happening to the civil people is it's just not beautiful. So not
Yeah.
beautiful to see. So I'm very grateful that we don't have that here. And today I'm very grateful for the sun that's coming out. It was supposed to rain today, but
Mm.
it looks like the sun is coming out, and I'm going to meet a friend I've not seen in 1 or 2 weeks for lunch today. So grateful for that as well, in combination with the sun. And yeah, very grateful to have location freedom as well. With the business that I do, I can basically work from wherever I want, and this is a great blessing that not everybody has. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
still, you gotta keep focused and not lose the hunger, because that can throw you off very fast.
And we're both very grateful, of course, for you viewers who are watching, liking, and subscribing. Like, we wouldn't be able to do this without you, so thank you. And share this with your friends and family because, why don't you help them get up as well, you know? Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much for watching.
Thank
Share this with somebody that has already fallen for a guru and that might need to watch out for the next one. And otherwise, wish you guys a wonderful rest of the day, or a wonderful night, or a wonderful morning, wherever and
you.
whenever you're watching this in the world.
Yeah. Don't forget to smile.
Okay,
See you
bye
guys.
bye.